The world may not revolve around us, but why the hell not pretend and just see what it would be like? The world's already a bit in shambles. Life is tough. Let's take a break and just daydream, put our heads in the clouds for a little bit, and just really put those heads together and see what we could create. Will there be a more efficient world? Who knows? Let's see. Let's try it out. Welcome to Audrey's World, the podcast where we do just that, explore what dream and fantasy worlds would look like. We're kicking it off today with Gretchen's World. So, Gretchen is a dear friend of mine from Chicago. I can't wait for you to get to know her a little bit and hear a little bit about what her world would be like. Gretchen is a Bravo connoisseur, a fellow Ohio girl, a meme queen, if you check out her Instagram, and my favorite photographer. Welcome to the show, Gretchen Wittry. Hi, Gretchen. Welcome to Audrey's World.
Hi, Audrey. Thank you for having me.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. The last time I saw you, we had a cute little date in
did.
West Loop.
We
It was
did.
so lovely.
It was on a day just like today, cold but sunny.
Yeah. And that will get our Chicago serotonin just going. That's all we need to get out of the house is that little bit of sun.
Exactly.
Nothing stopping us.
No.
Um, okay, I didn't want to tell you this when we were there, but I think that those Aperol spritzes that I ordered were the first ones I've ever had.
Are you serious?
I don't ever remember actively ordering them before. So yeah,
You've never had an Aperol Spritz
I
before?
don't think so.
Wow. What did you think?
Oh my God, it was really good. And
Okay.
I think I haven't ordered them in the past because I'm like a Marg girl through and through. And I know like I don't know what I can have next for it not to be like a horrible night or, to like wake up the next day pretty fine. So I feel like I'm hesitant to try new drinks and that's why I haven't done it. But wow, I might be like 3 years behind, but I think it's a spritz summer.
No, Aperol Spritzes, I feel like, are one of my new personality traits. I didn't have them until a few years ago, and then I accidentally went to Italy a bunch, and then I was like, well, now it's my new thing, it's my new
Yeah.
shit. But I used to be such a Mark girl, but then in college, I pre-gamed too much with like the Jose Cuervo like pre-mixed Marg things that I just like can't do Margs as much anymore, which is devastating. But that's why I love spritzes because they're still sweet, but they're so refreshing and they're not like overly sugary or sour. And you could crush like four of them and feel pretty good, especially the next day because there's like
Yeah.
water in it.
Yeah.
So
Iconic.
great.
Hydrating while dehydrating. The
Exactly.
power move.
Yes.
Oh my God. And okay, I was also thinking about you this morning
Yeah.
because when we hung out, we were talking about how our dads like interact with us, like how white dads essentially interact with their adult children. And I thought Tim, my dad, was really interacting this morning on all his different communication levels, but tell us how like your dad interacts with you because I thought it was so sweet, so tender, and then I'll tell you how my dad was doing it like this morning.
Yeah, so my dad, the primary way that we communicate is through Instagram DM. Um, I, I would average, and this isn't an exaggeration, I get at least 10 messages from him a day on Instagram DM. 90% of them are dog videos. And then there's like 5% that's other animals. And then there's 5% that's just like a wild card. It could be about anything. But my dad is like the classic lurker on social media. Like this king has like over 100 followers on Instagram. He's never posted a thing. He'll never post a thing. But like he's always online, so he knows what's going on, but he'll never post. He'll always like things. He'll never comment. But yeah, it's just all day. Like I know I'm like, oh, he's taking a break from work right now because I'm getting 7 Instagram videos from him, and they're all dog videos. And I have so many always in my backlog, so I'm like, I don't always have the time to go through and like check them right away,
Mhm.
but it's so fun whenever I have a moment or I'm like right before bed, I'm like, oh, let me go see what dog videos he sent me for the day. And it's just like it's the funniest thing. And he for the longest time he was like, oh, Instagram's so stupid. Now I'm like, who hates Instagram now? Not you.
You're Insta's biggest fan, Dad.
Yes, yes.
That's so funny. I like not leaving a digital footprint, but only there for the memes and the content,
Correct.
which honestly,
Correct.
not
Absolutely.
bad.
What was Tim doing this morning?
Oh my God. Okay. Well, he's never seen Instagram.
Yeah.
He like looks through TikToks that will send him, but like I don't he has an Instagram, but he doesn't even log on. I think he's probably logged on once in his
Yeah.
entire life when he created the account like a year ago. Um, but he was sending Facebook reels this morning.
My mom started sending Facebook Reels literally this week, and I'm like, it trying to take me to the app, and I was like, no, I don't need to go on Facebook.
Yeah.
Okay, wait, sorry. So he was
No,
sending Facebook
no, but
Reels.
he was that's literally what it was. Like my brother has never seen anything that my dad sent via Facebook because he's like, no, that I've lost Facebook like 2 decades ago at this
Yes,
point. Like he's
yes,
over it. And then my dad will also send emails with links all the time,
yeah,
like all the time.
yeah.
But the like Facebook reel that he sent today was the like the White Lotus Piper no like that. And I was like, Dad, was this your like first time seeing this? And he was like, it's so funny, loved it. So that was a clear like yes.
Oh my God, I'm obsessed with that. That's
But I
amazing.
was like, wow, Facebook Reels isn't that far behind. Definitely behind, but
Yeah,
was pretty impressed with like the timing it hit his
yeah.
feed.
I literally didn't even know that Facebook Reels was a thing until this week, and my
Yeah.
mom started sending them. I'm like, I'm trying to keep up with TikTok and Instagram Reels. I'm like, I don't need to worry about what's going on Facebook.
Literally, literally. It's so funny though. But so through it, I've seen it's kind of almost like exactly like TikTok or like the formatting and
Okay.
everything. So I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, at least like Facebook has that going for
Yeah.
it.
So funny. I can only imagine what the boomers are sharing on with each other on Facebook Reels. So
Oh my
funny.
God. Yeah, no idea. But my dad too, for the first, I'm not joking, probably decade that he had Facebook, which he only got it, well, probably it took him 5 years and he
Yeah.
just got the account maybe 7 years ago. It took him that long to even have a profile picture. And we're like, Dad,
So funny.
like you look like a bot. And he's just like, I don't like any of the pictures of me, or like I don't, why do people need that? And it's like to confirm it's you and like, ew, it's creepy, like
It
don't.
is. Yeah, that's like number one red flag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So after we finally convinced him to like get a profile picture, I think he's now maybe in the right direction, but who knows what he's
Yeah.
out there doing. So
That's so funny. I love it.
love it. But yeah, I was dying. I was like, oh, very, very dads interacting with their adult
Yeah.
children through these various methods. So
Hey, I like it though. Like they could be radio silent or they could be over the top annoying about it, but I think this is the perfect amount. We got some good dads.
they're meeting us halfway. Yes, we
Yes.
do. Well, I have to tell everyone how we met. So Gretchen and I both live in Chicago, but we met through like mutual friends.
Yes.
And you were friends with Alicia, I'll say through Ohio State, kind of like indirectly, but through Ohio State. And I'm friends with Melissa, who we've been friends since kindergarten. So Alicia and Melissa were roommates, and now we have this like great group of friends.
The
Kind
best.
of once Alicia left, but and went to Denver. But
Yeah, thanks, Alicia.
yeah, thank you. Thank you for your service. Thank you for the dedication to the friend group, but see ya.
Yeah.
But so you and Alicia, you didn't hang out at Ohio State, right? You met kind of
No.
post grad in Chicago?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, candidly, the way I'm a year younger than her. We didn't know each other at Ohio State. Like, I didn't even know who she was. But after college in Ohio, or yeah, once we were living in Chicago around the pandemic time, we were dating people who were best friends, and then we both got out of those relationships within like a month of each other. So we would always hang out when all the guys were hanging out, and then once the relationships ended, we're like, wait, but we still want to be friends with each other even though those are over. And then we just started hanging out, and then we've been great friends ever since.
Lovely. We hate to give the white male credit, but
Yeah.
thank you.
No, we've had so many emo times in the last several years where we're like, they always say every relationship in your life is for a reason, a season, or a something. And we're like, we are each other's reasons, I think, that those relationships happen because we got each other out of it. And then from
For
each
sure.
other, we got, or at least I got all of you guys that
Yeah.
she was friends with. And I'm like, that's the best thing in the world.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. Like I never thought I'd be crediting those men for anything in my life, but yeah, thank you.
Dead. I'm pleading the fifth. I'm
Yeah.
dead.
Fair. Fair. Oh, but yeah, and now we have our little group of friends that I don't know, even after I think it all started at the Penguin Gala at the shed where everything was solidified after that night. Like, we can't go back. We could never go back to being strangers or loose acquaintances after that.
I was thinking about it like a couple weeks ago, the Great Penguin Gala at the Shut Aquarium and how much fun that was.
It was incredible. Our
Yeah.
lives will never be the same for the best
Yeah.
reasons. So, thank you,
It's a
Shed, as
miracle I
well.
made it home that night
Yeah.
alive because I was on crutches and I was probably a bottle and a half of wine deep and I made it home without hurting myself anymore and that was great.
By the grace of God. Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Not injuring, not adding to further
No,
injury.
no, it was
I'm
great.
dead. When to backtrack a little bit too, you grew up, you're a fellow Ohio gal, so you
Yeah.
grew up in Cincy. I
Yes.
went to college in Cincinnati. I went to Xavier though. Like, what was growing up there like for you? Because I know I have some feelings about like my hometown where I grew up, and I really enjoyed Cincy when I was there, but growing up there, I'm sure was a totally different story.
Yeah, so I grew up in the suburbs, just like 20 minutes outside of downtown Cincinnati. So it was very much suburbia, like upper middle class suburban neighborhood, maybe like 2,000 people in my little town. Um, it was very much so like nothing ever went wrong. Like we left our doors unlocked, our cars unlocked every single night. Um, and like in the papers, they would have a police report every month, but nothing ever happened that they kind of turned it into a joke of uh, like a kid accidentally kicked their soccer ball over the fence into the pool again. Like that, those are the reasons that the police were called. Like it was just like such a bubble and like bubbles in a good way and bad ways, like
Mhm.
very homogenous, um, very homogenous and just like the terms of the demographic. But it was a safe, tight knit community. I loved growing up there. Everyone was very supportive. The schools were amazing because it was such a small community and like school system, like you got to play whatever sport you wanted and you could be on all the clubs. Like I would hear of friends in college who went to the high schools that had like 4,000 students and it was like if you're lucky, you'll play one sport and that's it because it's like so competitive. But like I played sports every season and you were friends with everybody or at least knew everybody. Um and it was like everybody's really nice
Mhm.
for the most part, but yeah, and it was because it was so safe, like lots of time playing outside. Like I didn't get a smartphone until I was in high school, which was like when everybody started getting smartphones at all.
Mhm.
But like lots of playing outside and like you could kind of be unsupervised for the most part. And yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
But like we going to downtown Cincinnati, we didn't do it like too often. So it's not like I
Mm.
was in the city. It was very much suburbia.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that kind of like a lot. Like growing up in Ohio, I'm like, oh, it was so great because I did feel so, yeah, like we could do whatever, not do whatever we wanted, but like you were outside, you weren't on on your phone all the time. You were just kind of like, I don't know, living, I guess, or like really involved with like your community and what was happening. And I don't even know if that's even something that like would happen now at all with your kids, you
No.
know? Or
No.
like how growing up would be. It seems like so ancient how we grew up.
Right. Right. And I think about that a lot. Especially recently, I've actually been thinking about it a lot because I was the last pre-COVID graduating class in college.
Mm,
So I graduated college in 2019, and then for a couple years, like nobody had normal like
hmm
graduations, etc. And so I think all the time about how lucky I am that I got to have like a full college through graduation experience. And I also kind of feel like that is kind of how it was when we were kids because iPod touches and iPhones started to become a thing like I think when I was in like elementary school, but no parents didn't start giving them to kids until I was in like maybe late junior high, high school. And so I feel like, again, I was kind of the last cluster of kids that had a normal, like pre-high school growing up where you would just go outside and play,
Mhm.
like play sports, play in the street, play in the yard, get creative, have an imagination. And I'm like, it is crazy to think that we were some of the last people that had that. And now I'm like, I feel like I'm so far away with dealing with that of my own future children, but it is scary to think about.
Yeah. It's wild. I know. I think I hit like perfect timing on everything too. Like first phones, I think my first friend got a phone, obviously not even close to being a smartphone, but like in 7th grade. Um no, Melissa got one in like 5th or 6th grade and she had a razor. She was hot shit.
Love
It was
that
a pink
tab.
one. Oh my
Wait,
God.
that was my dream phone growing up.
Literally. Oh my God, she had one of those like ringtone things too, where like you would call in and it'd play the song in the background.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God. Um, and yeah, I feel like social media too. Instagram, Twitter was first. Twitter didn't hit till I was like later in my high school years. Instagram hit, I think, my senior year of high school, going into college or something like that. And it was just, I feel like I've hit all of those kind of milestones kind of perfectly in my life too, because yeah, then I got to have the full college experience. I was able to be post grad for like 2.5, 3 years before COVID even hit. So I could have that like fun balance. Like I just feel like all of these crazy milestones have really came at a great point in my life. Like it is a really good, I don't know, trajectory in some ways, but it's so weird to think that, yeah, how we grew up just like there wasn't iPad, like there wasn't anything like that. Like we had to color when we were
It was
out.
just TV. Like my
Yeah.
parents definitely had rules around TV. Like we were allowed to watch TV, but it was like an hour. Like I'm thinking about the summers, like when we were home
Hmm.
every day. Like it was like an hour a day, but that's all you had to really worry about. Like I guess there were like computer games, but I don't know. Like it's just not the same. Like I can't
Yeah.
imagine it's gonna happen in our lifetime of we're gonna have to deal with our own kids doing that kind of stuff. But
Hmm.
it makes my brain hurt thinking about it.
No, for sure. And like even it makes my brain hurt too, like the things early days internet that like I saw too that was like, oh whoa, not the homogen like the different like suburbia, things that I would have never seen before without the internet, which was like great. Like loosen me up, like add a little something to my life. But
Or
it's
some
like
spice in there. Yeah.
yeah, now it's just on steroids, like
Yeah.
what kids would see and stuff. And I think that that will make our parenting decisions like really informative because we do know like what is all out there and
Right.
things, but hopefully, I don't know, at least we'll be able to find maybe a better balance between the two because I
Yeah.
think that's what a lot of us want to. Like we want our kids to, or like the next generation to just like go outside and like be able to have those imaginations and play and not see what's happening online or like compare themselves to other kids at early ages, but then like it's just a part of our landscape now. We can't
Yeah.
like escape it. So,
Yeah. I want to say it was my cousin. I was having a conversation with her semi recently, and we were just talking about how the world has become so advanced technology wise, especially with AI, and how AI is just like blown up in every sense of the word, and how much it infiltrates our lives now, and how so many things seem fake every time you go online.
hmm.
And it's like, it's icky for most of us, I feel like, to see that kind of fabricated media landscape. But she made a really good point that like eventually she thinks that as humans we're gonna crave like normalcy and authenticity in a way that's gonna people are gonna start like giving up technology and social media, at least like if not entirely, like shutting it out a lot more than we do now because it's like what's real anymore. And so I love that theory, and I'm hopeful and optimistic that not everybody's going to adopt that, but I feel like in the future we're going to crave like a we're going to literally all go outside and just touch the grass with our bare hands.
Hmm.
Because every time we go online it's like, is this AI? What's
Yeah.
real? And
Well,
hopefully that's good for our future children, that it's like by then, hopefully it'll be more common for kids to be like, oh, I don't want a phone. I want to go outside and play or
for
whatever.
sure. Well, and I think too, like we're already starting to see it in some. we're already starting to see a lot of these changes. Like people are like, "Oh my God, I scroll so much of my time and I know it's not good for me." Or like, "I'm more anxious because of that. I'm more
Yeah.
depressed. Like I'm not social anymore." And we're craving like even I saw something recently that more and more people are getting off of dating apps because they're just like, "Oh my God, like no, like I need to just meet people in person or try to because I think we're all sick of like to some degree the algorithm."
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely see some like validity in what you're saying too and like totally see it already starting to happen in like little ways. So
Yeah.
fingers crossed, we'll see.
Truly. Truly.
Going back, I was thinking like college Instagram for me was like so archaic compared to what's out there now. There wasn't stories, which I kind of forgot about, and I was like, "Oh my God."
Yeah.
Yeah, there didn't used to be stories. No one was like aesthetic with it. It was very like rose pictures. Oh, we'll just have like the Nashville or like I don't know, all of those stupid filters on
Oh,
Valencia,
yes.
like all of
Yeah.
that. And that was it. That was all your editing capabilities.
Yeah.
And one picture per post. Like I feel like I would go out a weekend in college and it would be like three pictures like from like three separate grid pictures all
Yeah.
from the weekend. Like LOL, that sounds so stupid
Yeah.
now.
Well, when I think of college Instagram, one, I get so salty because the amount of likes that I used to get on my posts in college compared to now, especially now that I'm a business owner and Instagram is like my primary way of sharing my stuff, and the algorithm used to not even be a thing. And I used to get so many likes on my pictures. And now
Mm-hmm.
I get like 20 likes on pictures. But yeah, in college, so I was always like the photo girl, social media girl, and like friend groups, and in my sorority that was like a position I held. And
Mm.
so in college every Sunday the majority of my day was spent receiving photos from friends and sorority sisters asking me if I could Facetune their photos
Yeah.
because I was so good at it because I did like Photoshop classes in high school. So it was like photoshopping or Facetuning, sadly, like clearing people's faces, whitening their teeth, making them look skinnier. But
Mm-hmm.
then it started to turn into a joke where like friends would send me photos after they'd break up with their boyfriends and be like, "Can you remove this man from this photo? Like I still look good, but can you remove him?" And so literally every single Sunday, like I spent so much time doing that. And now I look back and it makes me really sad because I went through a thing in college where I like facetuned so much for myself
Mm-hmm.
that I cared more about how I looked in pictures and how I looked in real life. And
Mm-hmm.
I kind of was blind to the fact that I was like having really unhealthy like eating and drinking habits. And then one day I saw a photo of myself and I was like, holy shit, like I need to get healthier basically. And then I
Mm-hmm.
vowed to never Facetune again for myself or anyone. And so I don't do it anymore. But that is literally that's what I think about Instagram from back in college was just like Facetuning the shit out of everything.
Oh my God. I know. I think we all did like yeah, we got it. We tried to like contour ourselves and like make
Yeah,
ourselves look
literally.
totally different because it was kind of the first time we could and we were like exploring with it. But yeah, it's like so sad to look back and be like, oh, the lengths we were going to for some of those things. And like just, I'm glad we could recognize at some point that it wasn't healthy. And I think we all changed at some point, but like so
Yeah.
gross. But you were so ahead of your time. Like, removing the men out of the photos like your Sundays were just already editing like it
Yeah.
really teed you up for being a photographer.
It kept my Photoshop skills sharp while I was in college, that's for sure. Yeah, the funniest one, it's so cringy looking back, but remember when Instagram used to order the feed chronologically
Mm,
instead of
yeah,
by whatever it
yeah.
does now? Um, it was after a date party, like I went to a date party that weekend, and me and the guy that I went with both posted the same picture, like right after each other, but I posted the Facetuned one where I look so much skinnier, and then he posted the regular one.
No.
And he never said anything to me about it. He was just a friend, but I was like, at that moment, I didn't even take it down. Like I didn't even delete it. I still kept it up. Like that's how badly I wanted this like skinny photo of me. And I'm like, you idiot, that's so cringy.
Sheer, I have like panic. I'm like, oh my God,
I literally
no.
lived it so bad.
Oh my God. We did not have, I've never been to a date party. We never did. I went to Xavier. There were no like sororities or Greek life or
Yeah.
anything, but there were a few times where I went to a frat. I could probably count maybe like 5 times in my whole college career. And most of them were with like Melissa going to visit her in Cincinnati and like going to I don't know, frats and shit there. But like, it was such a like crazy life to jump into, not having that at all. And we had kind of like our own version of things, maybe
Yeah.
through like club sports or different things where we kind of had things like that, but it was so far from like frats, date parties, all of that, that I was always kind of jealous of it. I don't think I would have been a great person if I was in a sorority, so probably best I didn't.
I picked the school I picked for the social life, and it absolutely delivered on being a grand old time, but 98% of the things I'm ashamed of in my life have to do with the social aspect of college. So you are not probably not far off that, maybe it's not a bad thing that you didn't have it.
Oh my God. I like can't even imagine how different my life would be if I went to a big school. Like going to a small school, oh my God, first year, first semester especially. I mean, Alicia went to Xavier too, and she left after
Like,
the first
wow,
semester because
yeah.
of how bad it was. Like first semester truly was not for the weak. Like no fun parties, no fun, like whatever. You're getting kicked out everywhere you go. But once you can make some older classmen friends, like second semester, oh, it was so great. It was so fun after that. And you like get your little crew together. But oh my God, I'm like, how fun would it have been to go to, I don't know, all of that like earlier on and like see all of it. But that's
Were
why I
you glad
visited
that
my
you went to
colleges.
Xavier then? Like, obviously you didn't transfer, but were you glad you went?
Yeah, I think at the time, like sometimes I did waver on it. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
like look at all my friends doing this cool shit here and there, but like it truly was what's best for me. And my friends there are like, I would not trade them
Oh
for the
yeah, you
world.
have the
They're
best
amazing.
friends.
Yeah,
Julie, all of them. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So that was fun. And yeah, like I lived with, there were 9 of us in one college house,
That's all
girls and guys. Like
Oh,
it was
scandalous.
oh my God. My parents were
Okay.
the only girl. Parents were like, Audrey, you're an adult. Like, if that's what you want to do, sure. Everyone else, it took like weeks of convincing their parents to like live with boys and stuff. And I was like, oh my God, Pam Tim, sick, like ahead of your time, love it. And it was the best thing. Like, once all the parents, then we did parents weekend, like junior and senior
Yeah.
year, we did like our own version of it. And once all the parents met each other, they were like, we love all of you. This is the best thing you could have done. Like all of that. And going to everyone's weddings now ever since has been like just an absolute blast because of it too.
Wait, I have never heard of, I don't think I've ever heard of co-ed living in college, like in the same house. Like those guys must have been very mature for their age because the thought of living with any like you go into the frat houses and you see the way those boys live, it's disgusting.
Yeah.
I was pretty disgusting in college in the way that I lived, but still miles ahead of college boys. So were those guys just like not slobs?
No, they were cleaner than us. That was the best part
Crazy.
and the worst part. But
Yeah.
yeah, so our house was super cool. There were 2 bedrooms on the first floor. And then there was like kind of 2 living rooms on that first floor too, and then a kitchen. So 2 boys lived on that first floor and there was like their own bathroom there. Then you went up to the second floor. That's where one, two, three, four, 5 girls were. There was a second kitchen up there, which was clutch, and how I think all of this worked out. A bathroom there, and then on the third floor there was 1 girl, 1 guy, and then we had like a temporary kind of 10th roommate for a few months there, where he lived up there too. But then that third floor had its own bathroom as
Okay.
well, so
So you didn't
that's
have to
how it
share
worked.
bathroom, like shower bathrooms with guys then.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah,
That
no.
makes sense then.
Thank God. So yeah, that's what helped. But yeah, they would, oh my gosh, all the boys would like drunk clean after parties and stuff because our house we threw parties. Like we were throwing parties every other week. So it's not like people weren't like coming in and out.
Yeah.
But also we had such a strict rule that no one would hook up. And I that like it was very much like everyone
Girl.
was like like other friends were like, "Oh my God, don't you guys just like go home and like hook up with each other?" We're like, "Oh my God, I want to vomit." That would be like That would be like my
It's perfect.
brother, like
Yeah,
something like
yeah,
no, no. So I think that's also like how we were able to make it work.
yeah.
But
That's so funny
it was
because it's
so
like
fun.
New Girl in real life.
Literally. Oh, and that was our show. New Girl and Impractical Jokers were literally on
Oh,
24/7. I wish I was kidding. We had in our living room, we called it stadium seating. So we had like one couch on the lower section. Then we went to like Home Depot or somewhere and got what are those like cardboard like things? I don't know. You use it with like shipping packages or something. I don't. Oh God, it's going
like
to kill me
cardboard
that I can't.
box?
Yeah, like pallets, like something
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
So then there was a little bit of separation. So then there was a second couch behind that. So all of us could sit and like watch TV together, watch movies and stuff like that. Like it was honestly, we were pretty wholesome. We painted our like living room in the first floor because it was like a gross dark blue color. So then I think we painted it like yellow or green. So
That's
we were
so
like very
cute.
wholesome. It was cute.
Yeah, you guys seem too far advanced for like a party school.
Yeah, yeah.
Way ahead of your years. I love that though.
It was a blast. But yeah, so yeah, because of that, I definitely would not have changed like my
Yeah,
experience.
no,
But there
that's
were
amazing.
times where I was like, oh, my friends at the bigger schools have like such cool experiences,
Yeah.
but like I don't know, mine was
No.
sick in its own way. So
Yeah, we were all where we were supposed to be.
100%, a
Yeah.
100%. But to go back, so you were like editing on your Sundays, you were taking pics, you were the go-to pic girl, and
Yes.
now, I mean, to jump ahead, she's a photographer, guys. She does it full time. Weddings, engagements, whatever you need, Gretchen does. But like I have to know. Well, tell us a little bit about you were in corporate for a while and then you made the jump to do this, pursue it full time. So, I mean, let's hear your side of that.
Yeah. Well, I started photography in high school and I just fell in love with it. And it was like, oh, I thought I was passionate about all these sports. Then I was like, no, I'm actually passionate about photography. It felt so random. But my parents are like, this is great. We'll help you learn all about it, learn everything you need to know. And then I started taking photos of my friends in fields and posting them to Facebook,
In
like any preteen, teenager, cringy white girl
Ohio
would.
would do. That was
Yeah.
like the iconic backdrop, the fields, still to
Yeah.
this day.
But I have to give it credit because it's why I am where I am
Yeah.
now. But yeah, I started doing senior portraits in high school, families in high school, and then college. I didn't do a ton, but I was everybody needed like their first headshots. I
Hmm.
also for the first week of school, how I met the most people was because someone found out I had a nice camera, and so I was the designated person taking the fake ID photos for like everyone in my building
Incredible.
for free.
Yeah.
For
Oh,
free.
of course. No
Um,
charge. You just want to make friends, like
right,
easy in and out way to do
right.
so.
Exactly, exactly. I'm pretty sure the statute of limitations would be off of that,
Yeah.
for admitting that. But um, and then yeah, always knew I wanted to go to Chicago and like work corporate. Like both my parents worked in corporate America for forever. I just saw myself doing that. But I always wanted to keep photography on the side. But as I emerged into adulthood, I kind of realized like photography is a very expensive hobby. And to make money most efficiently, I was like, I feel like I either need to learn about weddings and get into weddings or kind of parse down my equipment, not give it up completely, but like not really actively promote that it's something I do. And so, like right as the pandemic was about to hit, I went to my first workshop to learn all about wedding photography, and then I fell in love with it. And
Mm.
then for a few years I did like 10 weddings a year in addition to my corporate job. And it was great, but I kind of hated my life because I was so busy, especially in the summers.
Yeah, the best time here, but then all your
Yeah,
free time is just going to like
right.
another working, which is fine, but you feel like
Yeah.
you never have a break, I bet.
Yeah, so it was like I'd work from 9 to 5 every day, and then I say that I would work from 5 to 9 every
Hmm.
single day. So I would just have months of like 6 to 7 months at a time where I worked every single day, many, many hours. And I always said I would never go full time, but I think the reason I was so adamant about that was because I didn't think that I could. I didn't
Mm.
think like, especially living in Chicago where it's expensive to live, I just didn't think I could. And then I had a couple of years in a row where I was able to like practice a lot more, raise my prices a lot more, and the math started mathing, and I didn't love my last corporate job, and I was like, wait, wait a second, like I might actually be able to do it. And then I prepared for like 9 months to quit my job. I saved up a bunch of money, figured out what I needed to do, and then I quit in December 2023. And it's been the best decision I've ever made. I'm so much happier. I feel so fulfilled in what I do. I'm not making a bunch of money for a like billionaire across the
Mhm.
country who I'll never meet. And I work with the coolest couples, and it's just so fun. I love it.
I love that too. Yeah, and I'm sure too, like your day to day, maybe something that makes it more fulfilling is, of course, like you're enjoying it more, but it's that interacting with people. Like it's
Yeah.
not just like Zoom meetings or like a ton. I mean, you email back and forth and things,
Yeah.
but like your true like on the job work is like that connecting with the couple is making sure they feel relaxed, that they're having a good time,
Yeah.
that their like love is being captured or like whatever, and like how fun. Yeah, how rewarding,
Yeah.
how fun.
No, it really is amazing. And I think my corporate job set me up for success in a lot of ways of like being a business owner. Because I think a lot of people always think like, oh, creative people, they're super creative and artistic, but maybe they don't have the best like business sense or like communication skills. But I'm like, I grew up in a corporate household. My parents were emailing me articles and stuff from a young age. I'm used to the corporate jargon. And then with my own corporate experience, like I worked in project management. So I'm like, I know how to craft a professional email. I know how to create a timeline, stick to a timeline.
Hmm.
Um, and so yeah, it's not like it's been a walk in the park. Like owning your own business is still hard as shit a lot of the days. Um, but the thing that fuels me the most is the weekends, not every weekend, but the weekends that I get to go photograph two people's best day of their lives. Like it's such an honor and it is such a cool thing that I still can't, it still feels like unreal to me that I get to do that.
Oh, that's so cute. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, very fun. I remember exactly. You sat us down. We were at like Melissa's place. We were there, and you're like, "Well, guys, I quit my corporate job.
Oh
I'm
my
doing
God.
photography full time."
Oh my
We were
God.
freaking out. But like, yeah, I remember how excited we were. And also, I mean, I was definitely like, "Wow, that's really fucking cool. I'm jealous."
I whenever I talk to anybody about it who's still in their corporate jobs that I know is like creative or could definitely do something else different, I'm the first person to be like, yeah, quit your job. Who cares?
Mhm, yeah.
Like come up with a plan for sure. Make sure you can support yourself. But I'm like, all my creative friends, I'm like, I see something for you. How can we get you there?
You're like, my mastermind wheel. How can we concoct this for you?
Yes.
I love it. On wedding days, like what is like fun about it, but there's kind of some cons too. So what
Yeah.
are, and then is there, I feel like you do a good job about getting good couples, but have there ever been any couples that have like not worked out or even like I hate to say it, but any like divorces that you know of that you've shot?
So I feel really lucky because truly almost every single couple that finds me is amazing, so chill, so kind, like really great people, really fun people. Which means I think my marketing is working because they
Hmm.
always say when you're marketing, you want to repel people as much as you want to attract people. So you want to make sure you're repelling the right people and attracting the right people. And I feel like it's a sign that I'm doing a good job of like not attracting the people
Yeah.
that wouldn't be the best fit for me. But no, I mean, there's some like personality differences sometimes
Mm.
that um maybe you just don't flow as well, but I've really never had any like nightmarish experiences. I have had a couple of separations, and I always just like feel so bad, and I'm like,
Oh
whatever you
yeah.
need me to do, I'll take down any photos. I won't post any more
Mm.
photos. um but no, I mean the wedding days, the best parts, it like I care a lot about my couples, and not that I become like besties with them by the time their wedding day comes around, but I've been following them for a long time. I've had multiple meetings with them. I probably did an engagement session. Like I know a lot about their life, and so I show up on the wedding day and I just get to witness them having the best day of their lives, and like having the little moments with the person they're marrying or with their family or their besties, and just it's just watching all of the fun happen and watching them be so happy. But they're obviously like it's stressful as fuck, to be honest. Like
Hmm. Yeah.
you're the one person in charge of documenting their wedding day. And it's a
Mhm.
lot of pressure. And I think I handle the pressure really well. And at this point, I've done so many weddings that I trust myself, and I know I have systems in place to make sure I nothing happens to the photos, and I take all the photos I need, and I'm careful getting there, getting home, all this stuff. But it is still a lot of pressure, and like
Yeah.
you gotta stick to a timeline, and you gotta keep people happy while being upbeat yourself. I think actually the hardest thing is I'm a big introvert,
Mm.
and one thing I've learned about myself over the years is that I need to recharge my social, emotional, mental batteries on a semi-regular cadence. And wedding days take a lot out of me because I have to be on for 8 to 12 hours and like happy, positive, can't be annoyed, can't be tired, can't be sad, can't be frustrated. Like I have to be my best self for so long. And so that honestly sometimes is the hardest just because naturally, like every few hours, I want to sit and be silent
Just
and
doom
not
scroll for
care.
like 5 minutes.
Yeah. So sometimes I'll take like, a couple extra minutes when I'm going to the bathroom, but
Yeah.
that's really all the break I get.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's so true. I know when I was a florist for like not even that long during the
Yeah.
pandemic, it was like obviously we did a lot of weddings and I saw a lot about weddings and then now too seeing my friends like things I like, things I don't like, but being the florist, I really saw like that timeline for the first time. Like I thought I saw it being in friend's wedding, but no, no.
No.
Being on like the vendor or like the service side of things, you see a whole new like side of things. So has it made you like want a big wedding or have you like I know I honestly kind of repelled and I'm like I want this like very small thing. I want
Yeah.
it to be very like pared down, like not a lot of like no, I don't want a lot of those
Yeah.
frills kind of because of what I saw, but has it changed your perspective at all?
Yeah. I feel like the first several years I did it, people would always ask, like, what does it make you want to do at your wedding? And I feel like the first few years, because really like none of my friends have gotten married yet. And
Mhm.
so prior to photographing weddings, I hadn't been to weddings as a guest in years. So it was really like my first time being at weddings as an adult. And it was more so learning like, okay, I don't think I want this aspect. I don't think I want that aspect. A lot of things that I just realized, like, I don't think I want that. But really, in the last couple of years, it's starting to turn. And I'm like, okay, I'm starting to see things that, like, ooh, that's a good idea. I want to
Mm.
take this thing from that one, this thing from that one. But I I like the idea of a more intimate wedding. But then you actually do some mental math and you're like, all the people that we care about the most, that
Yeah.
still is a big number.
Mhm.
So it's hard to do like such a small one. Um, but weddings are really expensive, and that is not a fact that I'll pretend doesn't exist as
Mhm.
somebody who is part of the problem. But weddings are very, very expensive, especially in a place like Chicago. And so it would be great to have a certain wedding with all the florals you want, but as you probably know, because you used to work with florals, flowers are really expensive.
Yeah.
So it's all about like I'm in the phase of how do you create the beautiful intentional day that you want while also being mindful of like the cost of everything, but
Mhm.
being mindful of the most important thing that is like just having all your favorite people in one place at the same time. Like that to me is what weddings are all about. And I try to go into photographing all my weddings that way. And it's the thing that I try to remind my couples all the time. Like
Mhm.
all everything else about this, all the decor, all that stuff, it's beautiful, it's great, but it's not going to be here tomorrow. What is going to be here is the memories of like the interactions you had with all these people.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just a day. Like the timeline might get skewed. Something with a vendor might be off. Like it's so hard not to get caught up in those details. But yeah, bigger picture is this is like a day we'll remember for the rest of our lives. It's with all the people we love in one room. Like that will never happen again. So let's just enjoy what we have. That's so
Exactly.
true. Going
Exactly.
to the basics.
Period.
This podcast is called Audrey's World
Mhm.
because life is fucking crazy. It's tough. So let's just escape it a little bit. I feel like we're always saying, oh, if this was my world, if the world revolved around me,
Yeah, it
what,
doesn't.
I
No.
know, right? Like, I thought it did, but people have to remind me that it
Yeah.
doesn't. So, if it was Gretchen's world, what would it be like? Are there like national foods? Do you have, I don't know, is there social norms? Like, what's in and out?
Yeah.
Like, is everyone watching Bravo, my Bravo queen? Or, what's happening?
Obviously, no, I was thinking about this and I had so much fun thinking about it because I'm like, oh, there are so many things I would change about the world to create my perfect world. So let me see if I can keep it short for you. 4 day
Oh,
work week.
elaborate as much as you
Okay.
want, my girl.
Okay.
Like,
No, we'll be here for hours.
yeah.
4 day work week.
Oh,
Temperature is always between like 60 and 85 degrees and sunny, but there's always a sprinkling of like a couple of days of overcast and rain and a couple of days of snow just to remind you how good you have it the
mm-hmm,
rest of the days. But it's
mm-hmm.
pretty much like beautiful LA, California weather all year long.
Love.
There's no like natural disasters or anything. Um, there's free healthcare. I am somebody that goes to the doctor a lot. I'm just clumsy, I do, and I'm tired of paying for medicine and
All
health.
right. Give it to me for free.
Uh,
Make it accessible.
yes, yes, and with it, like free education, free childcare, free family leave. We might pay a lot in taxes, but all the tax money is used like beautifully, and so sometimes we wish we could pay more in taxes because it just benefits us so well. No,
Love.
you know what
Yes.
I mean?
We reap the
Um,
benefits of it.
yes. Um, oh, actually, this was something I was thinking about too, back to our conversation about like technology. Like, I think we have all the technology that we have today, maybe minus the AI component, but our relationship to it is different in that
Mm,
we see it as like a beneficial tool for work and also connection, but we don't have the interest in using it for more than that. So like we don't just sit on the couch and like just scroll. Like that's just not
mhm,
an activity that we do, but we only use it if it's for the purposes of like our work or like to call a friend or something.
mhm.
There's no interest or addiction to like social media or anything. Everyone's kind of like out in the world playing, being outside. Um, and so, like, cities, towns are built around humans walking, biking, swimming, hiking, and they're not
Love.
built for cars. Like, there are
Mhm,
cars, you can drive wherever, but it's all about like outdoor space, so much more greenery. There's high-speed rails to take you anywhere. That is my number one issue. I will march for high-speed rails over over a lot of things. It is crazy that there aren't high speed rails, but like you can take a train anywhere. You can be there so fast. Planes don't fall out of the sky. Um, oh, another big one is I want there to be alcohol, but I want them to figure out a way to make it not poisonous,
mhm,
like not
mhm.
break your body. So
Yeah.
like you can have a good time and do it responsibly without like hurting your body. Um, I wish you couldn't get bloated from cheese or just like
Oh,
any food.
mhm.
So like if they could just make the food kind of like Europe, like you can
Yeah.
go to Europe during
Pure, maybe,
a lot. Yes, yeah. Um, so even though I said maybe like taking a step back from technology, I want to be able to watch as much reality TV as I want. Um, and have
TV's
that
still
stuff.
there, just not like
Yeah,
phone doom scrolling.
exactly.
Love.
Exactly. Like I want to watch all my reality TV. Um, Dogs are everywhere. They're never at risk of like being hit by anyone, getting hurt, but they're just everywhere. Like
Mhm.
they're just wild but so friendly, and you could pet a dog every 5 seconds if you wanted. Um, no guns, no no criminals. There's no
Mhm.
misinformation. If somebody tries to tell a lie, it's like Pinocchio where like a sign pops up above their head and says, actually they're lying. This is what the truth is.
Fact
Um,
above. Bing.
yeah, like immediate fact checking. Oh, this is the probably the most important. Mandatory therapy.
Mm,
Everyone's in therapy.
yep.
And the closer you are to holding a position of power, the more
Mhm.
hours you have to spend in therapy a week.
Honestly, let's instate that, fast track
Yeah.
that one right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, I feel like I can end it there, but I'm like if everybody was in therapy because then like people aren't being like petty, they're or not bullying, they know how to handle their emotions.
Yeah.
People aren't getting like offended by everything because they don't take it personally, and people don't use their own mental stuff
Hmm.
to, I don't know, decide to run for president and do a bunch of shit that we don't need
Hmm.
because they just can get it all taken care of in therapy.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that was my soapbox. I'm done, I think.
No, I love it. I do feel like, yeah, therapy for all. And I love the more like higher position of power you have, the more like documentation we need that you're doing it, how many
Yeah.
hours you've logged in, like make it public access. But yeah, I feel like I don't know, I was thinking about this earlier. Like, I do, I remember pre-therapy Audrey, just how like I don't know, not like resistant almost to a lot I was, but yeah, how just like uncomfortable I was. Like I didn't know myself very well and
Yeah.
whatever. And I just feel like, yeah, I can see it in other people too. And I'm like, oh, just like do the work. Like it's okay. Like explore what's on the other side. It's fucking terrifying. And I'm not going to deny that
Definitely.
at
Yeah.
all. It's horrifying. You don't know what's going to happen in the end, but you know yourself so much better. You know how to work through things. And like, we all need reminded of that. So.
Yeah. No, 100%. Um, yeah, it's just it's so sad that therapy is so expensive because I feel like so many more people would do it if it was more accessible.
Mhm.
But no, I mean therapy's changed my life in so many ways over so many of the last several years that I've been in it, but I can just only imagine how, like, think about how fewer conflicts we would have on like a small scale of just like somebody cussing someone out on the roadways and like road rage all the way up to like wars
Mhm.
with like the people who are just getting worked up, just like, had the tools. Like I can actually sympathize and like feel sad for people that don't have those tools
Yeah.
or haven't worked through those things. But if everyone just if everyone had to do it, it's like in school where you have to learn a language. Let's
Mhm.
also add an hour for therapy.
Mhm.
Be great.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, for real. How like peaceful we would be
I know.
amazing. And
Yeah.
what could oh my God, what would the world be like? Now I'm living in Gretchen's world. Like, oh, what would it be
I
like?
know.
Oh, I know. I kind of think too, like the when I think about my dream world, it would be some sort of disconnect too with there wouldn't be a social norm of just like scrolling on your phone.
Yeah.
Like when we are out and about, it would be almost like when we were growing up. Like you would just have small talk with the person behind you in line. Like, can you even imagine doing that now? Like, oh my God, you're
Right.
talking to me? Like
Right.
if someone even tries to do that to me, that's what I would love to maybe happen to some degree, but then I'm
Yeah.
like, he said hi to me like
Right.
oh my God, predator, no,
Right.
like get
No,
back
literally.
away.
Literally.
So there's like I don't know, I need to find some balance with that in my personal life,
Yeah.
but it's
Yeah.
where we're at.
What does your world have?
Okay, I want to make it like kind of fun too. Like, do we have like purple and green hair and that's like the norm? Like, I'm trying to like make it fun like
Yeah.
that too.
Yeah.
And like people with like, I don't know, blonde, brown hair, like, I don't know, is that those are like maybe the outsiders? I kind of think something like that could be a little funny or like fun to play around with.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's like disconnected from their phones. There's not the social norms of just like scrolling or posting about your lives all the time and like just I don't want there to be like comparison of like, hey,
Yeah.
I'm doing this,
Love
this is
it.
my life. Like, why aren't you doing it? It's so lame that you're not. Like, whatever. Um, I definitely want there to be like equity. Like everyone has
Yeah.
access to their and like equality, like access to their bodies. They can do what they want. There's no judgment with anything like that. I want everyone to be able to experience every summer one like lake day where they do a sunset cruise. Everyone gets that every summer, at least one day. I mean, there's hot dogs around every corner. Margaritas are like free flowing. Yeah, maybe with no like harsh side effects. And let's pretend like maybe addiction isn't real, so that like
Obviously,
that's
yeah.
okay. Or, we somehow manage it. I don't know. Um, but I just want everyone to have like the palpable joy. Like I want people to be able to just dance like nobody's watching all the time and like just laugh and like really engage like human to human more and like really remove a lot of that like technology piece and just like
Yeah.
enjoy your neighbors, have that community again, like build each other up. that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So
I love
that's
it.
kind of like a brief highlight, I'll say, of like what I feel like my dream. Oh, I do want there to be like some spooky component though, or like some like witchy undertones. So
Okay.
like the movie Practical Magic, I feel like I would
Okay.
kind of want some undertones of that in it. Like
Yeah.
there's community around, there's people around, maybe they don't love you or like they're kind of concerned about what you're doing, but then like something really magical and like a cool event happens and then they're like, "Oh my God, like magic is real. This is so fun." Like, maybe it's a little spooky, maybe it's a little
Yeah.
like but it's fun and it
Yeah.
like turns out for the best every
Just
time.
not ominous. It's just
Hmm.
like an extra treat.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Love.
just a little like surprise inside
I
sort of
love that. Yeah.
thing.
Amazing.
So yeah, that would
I
be
think our worlds sound great.
when worlds collide, the
Yeah.
Gretchen and Audrey world. Okay, but the real world, as we know, is not that. So to maybe lessen the blow a little bit, Gretch, what's like a recent small win you had? It could be anything from trying a new restaurant, maybe
Mm,
going somewhere alone, trying a new hobby, waking up to your alarm the first time. Like what's the small win to kind of lessen the blow of the reality we have to jump
yeah.
back to?
No, it's a really good question. I think the first one that comes to mind is I started reading Marie Kondo's book.
Okay.
I'd
The
never
original, or
watched.
does she have more?
It's called The Life-Changing or Magic of Tidying Up.
Okay, cute.
I don't know if she has other ones, but my
Yeah, I
mom
don't
gave it to
either.
me recently, and I'm like a very organized, messy person, but like when it comes to my space and my things, like I've just always been messy. Like my room is always messy. It's just how it is. And almost 9 months ago, I moved in with a male, with my boyfriend, and that's been such an interesting experience because he's such a minimalist and he's such a neat person. And so I feel like it makes my maximalist messiness stick out and it makes me
Highlight.
more painfully aware of it. And he is so good about like, do you use it? Do you whatever? Then donate it, throw it away, get rid of it. And so I'm on my journey in this season of spring for spring cleaning. I started reading this book and essentially the premise is like she's like if you just tidy up once, if you're not a tidy person, you need to tidy up one time in your life, go deep, go hard, do it the right way, you'll never need to tidy again. Because her
Mm.
premise is like go through everything you own and pick up every object. And if it doesn't spark joy, like that's her thing, then get rid of it. And then essentially, after you do all of that, it might take days, weeks to do it all. Once you're left with whatever you have left, your space should be so clutter free that everything that has a home, you actually have excess space and then it's like once you use something, you put it back. You never have to like, you can deep clean, but you don't have to like tidy up ever again. And
Mm.
so I've been reading it and it's been inspiring. And so a couple weeks ago, I did like my bathroom and all my personal care products. And this morning, I did all my shoes. And
Ooh.
all my shoes out. I can send you a photo. Although I don't know if I don't want, I don't know if I want. Put all my shoes out on the floor of the apartment and like organize them by type whatever. And I got rid of two trash bags for
Oh,
shoes. One, I realized they actually needed to go in the trash. Like it would have been shameful of me to donate them. And then I
yeah.
have another trash bag that's being donated. And so now I'm like slowly but surely just getting rid of stuff that's I don't need and creating more space in the apartment that's already like we're in a city apartment and there's not that much space. But it's a win for me because it's something I've always had a hard time doing, but I feel so much better after it's done.
Yeah.
Only at the beginning, I have so many more things I need to go through. But I was like, you know what? Don't take too big of a bite than you can chew. Just do your shoes today. And I did
Yeah.
shoes. And I feel great.
No, I love that. And I think that's probably the best way to tackle it too, because yeah, I would look around my whole apartment like I have to do all of this, or like that means this, then this. Like, no, make it digestible, make it easy for you. Maybe you won't do it for a few weeks, and that's fine too. Like, you'll get there. But I love that. I feel like Marie Kondo, we all need her in our lives like every few years to like come back and like remind us of her practices.
Yes, but that's her whole point in the book. She's like, she has never had a repeat client.
Mm.
Like the people who pay her to come into their homes and do their stuff, she's like, she's never had a repeat client, and that's her goal. Because the goal is you do it so thoroughly once that you never have to do it again.
I
because
love that.
everything else you bring in, you realize like, well, one in, one out at that point.
I feel like I I do this well with clothes, but maybe not other things. I truly will only purchase something if it's either like super unique or like I know I need it or something. Like, I don't know, I'm really good if it truly like sparks joy, like I'll buy it. But then some other things, I feel like it gets messy, especially like, I mean, like cleaners and like things to like,
Oh my God.
like update your house. Like,
Yeah.
that's not sparking any joy for me. The clean house will eventually, but
Yeah.
not like this said product. So
Yeah.
I feel like I could, maybe that will like spark some like habit in your head too. Like, okay, like, do I actually need this when you're buying new things all the time? Like, yeah,
Yeah.
you just have that kind of rhythm and mindset when you're doing all of that.
Yeah. No, it's been good. And I feel like one thing that I want to like celebrate more about this win is because this is something I've always been ashamed about myself for. And like ever since I was a kid, it was like my parents saying like you need to clean your room, stop leaving your stuff everywhere. And then like it was roommates in college, and now I'm like my boyfriend is so patient about it. He does not complain nearly as much as he could or should, but I feel like to me, I'm like, oh, I should have had this taken care of years ago. And so part of me is like, well, you shouldn't celebrate clearing out your shoes because you should have just had it done, or you shouldn't have even been that way to begin with. But I'm like, you don't know, like I deserve to celebrate the fact that I
Yes.
got rid of 2 trash bags today. It's
Literally
crazy.
just today, and you did
Yeah.
your personal care before. No, don't get stuck in that mindset. I feel like women, especially, we're always like conditioned, like, be perfect, be so like petite, be, know everything ahead, be proactive, like all of this stuff. When, like, oh my God, that's so exhausting. I'm not an object. I can't predict the future. Like,
Yeah.
it's fine. And yeah, you're doing it as it works for you, as you can do it. And like, no. No, that's just a part of the wonders of Gretchen. Like, no.
I love that, the way you put that.
So don't let that mindset get you down yet. Celebrate the win, get the trash bags out. That's all you're doing. So it
Love it.
is a time to celebrate and acknowledge the win. So good job, Gretchen.
Thank
Applause.
you.
Cheers.
Thank
Yay.
you. What's a win that you've had this week?
Oh my gosh. Well, I had a dramatic experience at the DMV earlier this week. I am just a girl who doesn't know anything about cars, so anything that happens, I like very much make it a huge deal in my head. It's like traumatizing, whatever. So the this was the earliest appointment I could get. It was an hour drive away, but like I did it. So all in all, I was literally there for 5 hours doing stuff with it. So that was just messy. But afterwards, I was so excited to go through a drive-through. And you're in Chicago. Like drive-throughs, they're very minimal here. And I wanted
Yeah.
specifically McDonald's. Like they're around, but to really like get in a car and go through a drive-through. So my little win was literally just going through the McDonald's drive-through. It was on St. Patrick's Day, so I mean, I like balled out. I got my meal, my normal meal that I get. And then I was like, oh, I'm getting a Shamrock Shake. We are celebrating this holiday. We are not letting this
My
go
God.
by. I don't think I've had a Shamrock Shake in like, oh my God, since high school or something.
I've
So
never had
it
one.
was to offset, this win is to offset the trauma that was at the
Really?
DMV. And I mean, I have to go back again. So that's a little sad.
Was it
But
because you didn't have the right paperwork?
yeah, I thought I had
I hate
everything. I
that shit.
thought I had my title,
I
and
hate
I
it.
didn't have my car title. So then I've been calling my parents every day, like, where is it? Help. Like they just moved, so they're figuring it out. It's en route finally. But yeah, then part of the drama too was I had only one confirmation of my address, not two. So then I had to go to a
It's
FedEx
so
thing.
dumb.
Is so dumb. I had to go to FedEx, but the first one I went to, they didn't print. And I'm in
Of
this
course.
small ass town in the middle of like Illinois. I've never been here before. Then, oh my God, honestly, it was very like horrible. So then I like find a second location. I'm hoping that I can print something off here. I'm at a stop sign, but it's right turn like only. It's
Yeah.
like two lanes that only
Yeah.
turn right onto this thing, but it's a red light. So I'm stopped there. And all these cars are like honking at me. I'm like, it's a red light. Like, so what can I do? Some like older lady like comes up beside me. She's like, honey, go. You can go. And I was like, oh, thank God. But literally in that moment, because I was en route to the second FedEx place, like the DMV, I felt like I couldn't do anything right. Then I couldn't do that
Yeah.
right. Like literally one tear just like shed down. I
Not a
was like, this
single
is
tear.
horrible. Thankfully, after that, everything turned out okay. I got to the second location. I could print it out. It printed out everything fine. I went
Yeah.
back to the DMV. I could get one of the three things I needed without my title. And then I, celebrated
Oh my
with,
God. Well deserved Shamrock Shake.
yeah. So,
That sounds terrible.
it was really bad. So that's why I was like, you know what? We'll just like even it out. Honestly, a Shamrock Shake, it
Yeah.
was worth it. It really did even out all of the trauma. But also then I realized too, like, ugh, Audrey, it was just minor inconveniences. Like, yes,
Yeah.
that was annoying and it was such of like 5 hours, but I'm healthy. Like no one died. Like
Right.
I'm not in the hospital. I don't know. Like so many other things,
You're
horrible
still
things
allowed
could
to
have
be
happened.
frustrated. But
For
yeah,
sure.
good
But like
perspective.
looking back, I was treating it like I was in like cardiac arrest or something, and it was like, Audrey, it's just minor
Yeah.
inconveniences, so it's
Yeah.
okay.
Maybe in our dream worlds, like if anybody in my dream world, I don't think there's any crime, but like if somebody did do something wrong or just like socially incorrect, we just make them go to the DMV for 8 hours. Like that's the punishment.
Oh, see, I thought you would like no DMVs, like it just automatically
Well, that.
prescribes like a subscription, like, oh, you need a new ID here, tee, just like fill
Okay.
out this online survey, like do a quick Zoom call, like boom.
So I think that's what it should be. And we have like one DMV that isn't for the purpose of like DMV things. It's just for the purpose of like punishment.
Yeah, it's like
Like
a
you just
mini
have to go
hell.
to DMV and that's
Hmm.
like serving your time.
Not bad. Yeah, there is rehabilitation,
Yes,
like
yes. But
that.
everyone's in therapy, so like hopefully it doesn't even need to get to that point.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. Oh my God. Well, Gretch, thank you for coming on today and hearing about your world and your win. But how, if anyone wants to like check out your photography, if they
Oh.
have a wedding engagement, anything, like where are you? How can they find you? How should they reach out?
So I would say go to Instagram first because it's easiest. My Instagram handle is graphs by Gretch. Graphs like photographs. I had people who used to think it was like
Oh.
charts by me,
Oh,
but
Excel,
it's
just Excel spreadsheets.
no, graphs, like photographs by Gretch. And then there's links to like the website and all that stuff. But my business name is Gretchen Wittry Photography, Wittry.
Love. Well,
Take
thank
it a
you
wedding
so
soon.
much.
Okay.
Gretchen's World is phenomenal and you are loved. So thanks for coming in.
Thank you, Audrey.
Thank you for tuning into today's episode of Audrey's World. I'll be here every Tuesday, so check us out again. If you like this, please like, rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen. It only helps to engage more listeners and to get the word out there about the pod. So feel free to reach out on social media at Audrey's World. I'd love to hear your thoughts about the episode. Would love to hear about what your world looks like. And let me know what you think about Gretchen and I's worlds colliding and how it would be. Thanks for tuning in. Can't wait to see you again. Love ya. Bye.